What's going on, YouTube? Today is a little bit of a special video.
Blessed considering where I was and where I am now.
Hello?
Hey, this is Edna. Is Howell there?
This is who?
This is Edna. I was calling to check in on Howell.
Yeah, this is Howell.
How are you?
Well, I'm doing pretty good, really. I get a little weak at times, but other than that, I'm doing pretty good. How are you doing?
I'm doing great, sweetie. Thanks so much for asking. I just wanted to call in and check on you, make sure you're doing all right.
I would like to dedicate this video to my grandfather, who passed away a couple days ago. I thought about making this video for a very, very long time. Doodle happiness engineer and director of Quest. It's just unbelievable. They told me that I've cut ties with them and never to communicate with them again. I'm grateful for the opportunity to do it. And that's all I really wanted to say. I don't have anything to plug. I don't have anything to shill. I just want to say thanks. Hi, welcome to the outdoors. Today we're filming a video because I've made 1,000 videos and I've kind of wanted to recap what I learned. So I guess where do we start here? I still feel like my content is trash. I still feel like I have no idea what I'm doing. And I question almost every video that I publish. Like, I'm confident in the video, but also every time I'm done with one, I don't feel like it's that great. And I thought this would go away after 1,000 videos, and it didn't. And I'm not sure if it ever will go away. Another thing that I've wanted to talk about, there's a lot of bugs. I started off with a GoPro 3, which is terrible. I didn't even know what I was doing, and then I got a Sony because my friend said get a Sony, but I didn't know anything about cameras at all. I knew absolutely zero, and after 1,000 videos, I still feel like I've barely just scratched the surface. One thing that I am kind of proud of on this channel is that I've never made a fake video. Everything that you see on this channel is 100% real, and I feel like if you say that, then that makes you question it. But there are a lot of YouTube channels out there that just make up stuff for views, and then that's how they make their living. But everything on this channel has been real, all of it. There's a lot of comments that I get that call me a grifter. People make their living in different ways. I make mine by pointing out the nonsense in corporate that they want you to buy into, and you're not allowed to say no because then you won't have a job. And that's my job. I don't want to be like 55 years old and be in the corporate cringe, dude. Like, just like some old jaded dude. Like, that's not my end goal in life. Look at corporate cringe the next 35 years. No. After so many videos of corporate cringe, I can only... there are some times where I have to like force myself to get upset about something that I just am not upset about. But if I was working in that thing, I'd be pretty upset about it. I guess that kind of gets old. You know, I have other interests, other things I want to do. I guess in that way it kind of feels fake sometimes. But I don't mean to be. Some things I've never talked about on this channel before, like what it's like behind the scenes sometimes, is there are a lot of videos that haven't even made it to YouTube simply because technical issues, or I forgot to record audio after recording for like 2 hours. And I'm like, all right, let's edit this bad boy. And I toss it in. to the program and there's no audio. And that's when you just like fling something across the room. There's probably like 1,100 videos, honestly, that I've made. It's like 90 of those just never made it to YouTube. YouTube can be kind of petty sometimes. Like, I've never really talked about this on the channel ever, but Indeed, the job site, the one I find all the garbage jobs from, they struck down one of my videos. It was a corporate kindergarten or something like that, and I was comparing the Indeed offices to a kindergarten like classroom, and they said that it was copyright. And obviously, I think it's fair use. It's little old me versus billion-dollar Indeed. They're just doing it to be bullies, from my eyes, from my perspective. But it was hilarious because Indeed's offices have superheroes plastered all over their walls, like little kindergarten desks and activities, and it was seriously hilarious. But they were mad. Obviously, I offended somebody. Like, they could have claimed the ad revenue and got paid from it. They didn't have to just strike it down. They could have taken the money. That's how you know they were mad. That stuff happens on YouTube. There's no security in anything. Let's be honest. There's no security in a job. There's no security in YouTube. You just try to make do with what you can. You just try to make safe bets. You save up, you spend less than you make, you try to invest the extra money into things that will bring you more money, or maybe long-term investments for later when you go to retire or something. Kind of cool, I guess, when you see some people that you look up to and then you surpass them in sub count, which really doesn't mean anything. It's more of just a flex. View count is how you get paid, not sub count. And the percentage of subs that come back to your channel consistently change whenever YouTube's algorithm changes. But whenever you do surpass one of the people that you start watching in subs, it's like, holy crap. I don't feel any better than you. I don't feel like a star. I'm just a regular person. I'm just a guy in the mountains surrounded in bugs right now, like filming in the middle of nowhere. I don't think I'm special. I don't think I'm better than anyone. I'm very opinionated. Some might say I'm pretty disagreeable, but I think that just depends. Who are some of my inspirations? A lot of YouTube channels that I watch. Obviously, Corridor. It's one of my favorite channels. Joel Haver. It's pretty hilarious. I watch a lot of aviation stuff. So like Fly Corey, Trent Palmer. I have a whole list on my phone of inspirations that I was going to say in this video, but I don't have internet here, so I can't even pull up Notion and look at my notes. So we're just winging it today. Yeah, dude, when I first started, I started off watching like Chris Sean, Engineered Truth, I guess it was all software stuff. Mayuko, Tech Lead Yoma, whatever, right? Like, and then that changed because I wasn't coding anymore. So then I just started looking at channels that I was more interested in, which is like I watch a lot of film and camera channels because I like making movies. I have yet to make one because YouTube forces you to kind of produce really fast. They don't prioritize quality. Sometimes they do, but they prioritize quantity over quality. And when you're just one guy, like I've been for the past 3 years, I mean, I got the intern now, but still, it's hard to produce film quality movies fast. You gotta write the script, you gotta write the story, make sure the characters are good. You have to figure out what shots you want to do. All the videos that you see, we're just kind of winging it. We're just like, that would be cool, let's get that shot. Sometimes, very rarely, do I sit down and write out videos. I most of the time just have notes and just read off the notes and fill in the blanks. Anyways, I watch a lot of camera channels and film channels and VFX channels because that's where I want to go. That's where I see myself moving towards. And if I could do that with skits about corporate, I could do that all day. That's actually fun for me, dressing up like a bad CEO or a middle manager or corporate simp or whatever and making skits. But if I could make those skits like into movie quality, that would be goals. That would be absolute goals. And then add a little VFX. I've been thinking about maybe buying a motion capture suit and animating a character in Unreal Engine, or maybe learning how to animate like Meat Canyon. I think Meat Canyon's humor is absolutely hilarious. It's kind of dark humor. It's my humor. It's like Avatar right now. All this like cotton float stuff. It's all this fluffy stuff. If I wasn't doing YouTube, what would I do? Probably video of some sort, video marketing. I'd be making videos still. And if people were like, well, what if video cameras weren't around? What would you do? I don't know. Maybe be a pilot. If planes were not around, what would you do? Like, I don't know. You just go down the list of things that you'd want to do. Who's the middle manager based upon? All of my bosses combined into one. Like, my life was like Office Space. What up? What up, Thunder? My life was like Office Space, and I had 2 bosses or 3 bosses, and they were all very overbearing, micromanagey, boring, zero personality. Everything that I've ever made fun of on the channel, like corporate cringe wise, I've experienced. I don't know if there's wind in this right now. There was no wind for the past 2 hours while we're here. I don't know. It doesn't feel like 1,000 videos, because that's crazy to think about. But it counts live streams as those videos too. So, but I don't really do those anymore. And the reason, if you're wondering why I don't do live streams anymore, is because it tanks your watch time. People come to live streams for a few minutes and then leave, whereas they watch videos for half the video. As long as you have high watch time, YouTube promotes your channel. It's why I'm not doing premieres anymore, because people hop into the premiere and they see the countdown and then they bounce, and that tanks your watch time. They count that towards your watch time, and the lower your watch time, the less they recommend your channel. So at least that's where I'm at so far. I'll probably be streaming on Twitch pretty often, because that's just where you go to stream. I still feel terrible in front of the camera. I lose my train of thought all the time. This is going to be a masterpiece of editing if this makes sense when you're watching it back. If you guys could watch behind the scenes, maybe I'll make a Patreon and put all the raw video that you guys don't see, but like there's probably 30 hours of footage out there of me just going, fuck. Let me say that again. Wait, hold on. Let me say that again. Let me say it again. Okay, hold on. Wait. There's just me doing that, just losing my train of thought. You guys never see it, so I look nice and confident on the camera. I'm really not, though. I'm pretty introverted. I don't really like attention. Like, it's not me. I don't want to make a scene anywhere I go. I just kind of like to just chill behind the scenes, So it's odd that I have to be in front of the camera when I would much prefer to be doing directing work behind the scenes. What have I learned after 1,000 videos? I've learned that it doesn't matter how much time you put into a video. It almost is irrelevant to the view count. There are some videos that I put so much time into, nobody watches. There are some videos I put 0 time into that everyone's like, wow, this is a piece of art. This is amazing. Like the video, climbing the corporate ladder. Bro, that was like I was like, it'd be hilarious. Let's grab a ladder and let's talk about how climbing the ladder is a joke. And everyone's like, oh my God, dude, this is so good. It's like 200,000 views now. Like, this is the dumbest thought. And then these videos where I'm like, all right, I'm going to write it all out. I'm going to plan it and I'm going to execute. I'm going to storyboard and it's going to be great. Nobody watches. Nobody cares. So I've learned just to accept this idea is dumb. Nobody's going to watch. And I've interpreted that as the opposite of, okay, that means a lot of people are going to watch. But every time I think I have the formula down for what works, I'm wrong. Again, I still feel like I don't have any idea what I'm doing, but I just like to do a lot of stuff. Volume of work. Just get a lot of stuff out there and look at patterns and always be critical of yourself, which doesn't sound very healthy probably, but I try to be pretty self-aware of what I appear like on camera and how I am in person, because I don't want to be a different person on camera. It feels weird. It feels fake. And I don't know. I can't bring myself to be fake. See, I keep going to my phone to notes, but I don't have any internet. I care less about what people think, but I still care. I can say that I don't care. I can put on the I don't give a shit attitude, but I do. I care. I want to be liked by everybody. I think I'm a people pleaser person, but you can't be that way on the internet, because people just look for things that are wrong and call you out on it like it's their job. I have to not care what people think, even though I do. And I guess maybe one thing to talk about would be like when I first started YouTube, I was afraid to be creative. I had skit ideas when I was first starting YouTube, but I thought they were dumb and nobody would watch. And this is especially hard when you're first establishing an audience. People will leave comments like, this is dumb, this is lame, that's not funny. I still get those comments on my skits. Like, it's just not funny, Josh. There are these people who are funny and this isn't. And they gatekeep what they like to specific things and you're not in it. And it feels like you're just the problem. You're just not funny. It is dumb. And you just haven't found an audience yet. Like, there's an audience for everybody, dude. You believe the earth is flat, dude, there's an audience for you. Vampires are real, there's an audience for you. There's an audience for everyone. It just takes time to find it. However, you still have to know when to just let something go and move on to the next thing. And I might have said this before, but that's probably one of the hardest things about YouTube, is knowing if this just isn't working, and it won't work, or if you just suck at doing it right now and it'll get better if you keep trying and you want to improve. But it's hard. It's a thin line to walk on. And I feel that quite a lot whenever I try new things, because it almost never works out. And I'm just like, okay, is it just never going to be this way, or do I just keep trying until it does? Because sometimes you're just banging your head against the wall. You got to learn to let things go and just be humble enough to take the L and try something else. Or mix it up, instead of just doing the same thing over with the same results. Isn't that the definition of insanity? What else? Yeah, dude, like fear of creativity is like one of the biggest things that I've overcome on this channel over 1,000 videos of just, you know what, I'm going to do it, and I don't care what the comments say. Even though you do. Even though you say you don't, you do. You got to learn to let them go. But when you're first starting, again, and you don't have an audience, that's the hardest thing. People say, this is bad. You just have to find your audience. What the hell is that bug? Oh, it's just a moth. I guess on a personal level to the audience, I'd just like to say thanks, because obviously I wouldn't be here if I didn't have people to watch. And I know people are here for personal stuff and people are here for corporate stuff, and it's a hard thing to blend, especially when your interest is making movies. Like, I don't have all this drama all the time. It looked like that for a year. It really did. It looked like life just keeps kicking this dude while he's down, and it did, and it sucked. It was terrible, and now I don't have that anymore. Lessons have been learned. But thank you for sticking with me through it. Hopefully you can see the improvement in my happiness and the quality of the content that I make. Hopefully you've learned a thing or two. Hopefully I've motivated you to do something. At least just have a better quality of life. That's all I want for people. I just want people to have more choice in their life and how they live. All this preparation just to not have any internet. Well, it'll be interspliced with all the B-roll. Yeah, we do need a lot more B-roll. Way more B-roll. Way more of me walking around doing things. Or maybe even you. Yeah, we can go back, film. Well, maybe you could just do like handheld shots and slow-mo or something. Yeah, we can do that. Yeah. It's 3:30. Yeah, I'll probably come up with more ideas. Let's do that. All right. Stopping recording.